This department was established in 2019. The New Mexico legislature passed the law, and Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham signed it into law. And the purpose really was a recognition that this critical period of life, the prenatal to 5 period of life, the programs and services that support families and children needed to be housed under one roof, one department at a cabinet level. So getting out into the community, seeing where people live, what streets look like, what are the child care centers, the schools. So we're doing a little visiting, but we realize, the time takes a long time, so we're bringing all the programs together in roundtable discussions. In Hobbs yesterday, it was great. We got to meet with legislators, superintendents, early childhood leaders in the schools and in the community-based child care centers. A home visiting program can connect a family with child care, or a family can connect directly with our agency for child care services. As soon as they know they're pregnant, they are able to connect up with our programs and services and get help. Because sometimes if it's your first child, you don't know what all to expect. We also have the Family Nutrition Bureau. This is so important because all these programs, both in public schools and in community-based sites, children need access to nutritious meals. So we're able to support the Child and Adult Care Food Program, the Summer Food Service Program, to make sure that children don't go hungry and that they also receive nutritious meals and programs. We also do early intervention. So a family may have a new baby, may be born premature, or it may be born and have some developmental delays. They can immediately be connected to our early intervention program. These are skilled physical therapists, occupational therapists, speech therapists who can help that family really build the skills and help support their child's development. We also have a Families First program, which is a perinatal case management program. So these are nurses going into families' homes, making sure if the mom is feeling depressed, that she's getting her support, that the baby's getting well child checks, and connecting them with evidence-based outcomes. So we have this whole array of services and supports that most families will need 1 or 2 of within the first 5 years of their child's life. Now it's all under one roof. We're coordinating in our communication, in our resources and our supports to all the child care providers, home visiting providers, early intervention providers across the state. We have 33 home visiting programs across the state. In all 33 counties, we have programs. So one of those providers, so hopefully her OBGYN would already know about the amazing home visiting programs that are in her community. And they would say, if you're a first-time mom, there's certain programs that are for you. And especially if you're a first-time, maybe a teen mom, and you don't have a lot of family support, then Nurse Family Partnership is a fantastic evidence-based program with nurses who would come and visit weekly with that parent and be able to make sure she understood all the importance of vitamins and the prenatal care and all the aspects of child development, how to prepare for that birth. So that might be a program. This is her 2nd or 3rd child. We have the Parents as Teachers program, which is another evidence-based program that is absolutely wonderful and has proven results. So there could be a few different options. One program in New Mexico that's homegrown in New Mexico is Firstborn. And so that is another great option, and it's really widely available across the state. Again, with its name, it's only if it's your firstborn child. So they're going to come to the home, they're going to find out what are her fears, what are your excitements. They'll talk to her, provide her information about child development, again, what to expect in those early days, and then come every week once the baby's born. So these are exciting programs that and the purpose of home visiting not only is to educate them about the child and their relationship and answer any questions, but to connect them to the larger resources in the community. We know that many families have an extended support system, and that's fantastic, and that's going to work. But for a lot of families, they don't live near extended family, or that extended family has not been as supportive. So that's where home visiting really comes in as a proven evidence-based model for not only supporting the child, but also the mom and the dad. So that's why the focus on our workforce development strategies has been a key part of the department's first year, because we've estimated we probably need about 7,000 more early childhood professionals working across the state, whether it's in our infant and toddler classrooms, our pre-K classrooms, or in our home visiting programs. So that is a big push and a conversation we've been having down here at Hobbs and in Roswell, because it's across the country and it's across the state. So getting people excited about a career in early childhood is a great focus for us. How do we make sure that we have a workforce that looks like and represents the people, the families that we serve, and really understand and can support the culture and the language of the families that we serve? So this is the challenge, but we're up for it. And we're excited because the legislature gave us funding to really invest in the workforce, specifically around recruiting and supporting bilingual and Indigenous educators.
Since third grade, I've always wanted to teach. And then I've had excellent teachers throughout my academic career, and that just really helped influence it even stronger. I love the small town vibes here. Also, we really need great teachers here in New Mexico. So my focus will be teaching in classrooms, starting at the pre-K level. Like we here at the Child Development Center, we start at age 2 and work our way up to 4, but I will be licensed all the way to third grade. So I'll graduate here in a couple years, hopefully. And I either want to stay here in Perinatal, New Mexico, or move to Pecos, New Mexico, and work in a small town teaching and growing their programs. So our typical day, we have a couple circle times, and it's not just constant reading. There's more movement, involvement. There's lots of hands-on activity. There's teaching kids like solutions, their feelings, and getting to recognize things that they may not know. So it's a lot of that, and a lot of, like I said, play, where they're developing through all their play. And having that, there's literacy, there's math, there's so many content areas built into each center that I don't think everyone really understands. My favorite thing about working with children is that they have a light bulb that goes off. They're always playing, they're always communicating, and you see these problems sometimes happen, but then as they grow, they are able to solve it themselves. They start at 2, not really communicating. By 4, as they're solving problems on their own, more light bulbs are going off, and they're learning so much, and you can just see it by observation.
There's absolutely a high need in our area for early childhood educators and for high quality programs. I wanted to study early childhood education because I acknowledge that children are more than just tiny humans. They have abilities, and they're very powerful human beings. And I just wanted to learn more about working with children and what they are powerful and able to do. A typical day for children here at the Child Development Center is that we focus on the whole child. So they usually start off with having breakfast, which is healthy, nutritious meals, and then we move into learning curriculum. So children work in small groups with teachers on a focus opportunity, learning some content areas such as pre-reading, pre-math. They do whole group activities. We go outside and take nature walks. We learn everything that kindergartners do, but it's all through play rather than through academics. I really enjoy my dynamic of being a resource faculty and the director of the Child Development Center, because I have many of the students in my classes, and then they come over here and work for me part-time, or they come over here and do their labs and implement lessons. So I'm able to coach them in the classrooms, but I'm also able to coach them with a real group of children. My advice for people coming into this field is to absolutely do it. If you love working with children and you see the power that children have, then get into the field. There's a lot of opportunities. It's not just teaching. You can do home visits, you can do early intervention, you can provide parenting classes. There's a lot of options for somebody with a degree in early childhood education. I believe it's important for the state to push for initiatives because that's where we get our funding from usually. And because of the pandemic, early childhood centers and programs are really receiving a lot of funding from them right now. And centers across the state would have shut down if it wasn't for them to help us. The good thing about the ECECD program is that the people that are involved in that program they have early childhood backgrounds. So they've been in classrooms. They know what teachers experience day to day. They know what families experience day to day.
Today, we announced a big partnership that we're rolling out called Elevate New Mexico Childcare. So I want to make sure the state knows 3 things that we're doing to really support childcare and families and businesses in New Mexico. One is, of course, we're now paying childcare providers the cost, what it actually costs them to deliver care to children and families at different levels of quality. We have expanded eligibility. We did that in it's effective August 1st. Families up to 350% of poverty, which is around 93,000 annual income, can access assistance. They can get a portion of their childcare paid for through our department. And third, we are doing this new Elevate New Mexico Childcare, powerful back office tool for our childcare industry, specifically family childcare homes, what we call micro centers, less than 80 children. It's going to help them better communicate with families, run their business, streamline paperwork. And so we think that these three things together are going to help stabilize, enhance, and strengthen our childcare industry, which in turn will help the entire New Mexico economy recover. We have heard over and over that childcare continues to be a barrier for families, either the affordability, the access. Behavioral health, we've established a task force and just released a plan, a report and a 3-year plan to develop an infant early childhood mental health consultation initiative statewide. These will be clinically trained early childhood professionals who will go into childcare classrooms, pre-K classrooms, work with home visiting, and really talk with them and help children and families and the educators support children's social and emotional development and reduce teacher burnout. We heard a lot of this on some of the roundtables because they're having children come from all different perspectives, different walks of life. Some have had no exposure to an early childhood setting. Some have. And so how do you manage that? And that teacher and educator needs that type of consultation for themselves just to help manage that. So those are some of the things that we're excited to have a chief health officer helping us think through what those strategies should be, and then being more intentional about the health aspects for children in childcare centers across the state. Because currently there's no health consultation happening, and we know that there could be challenges with health needs, special health care needs, nutrition needs, and bringing that together will help, again, improve the quality of those settings. We know that not everybody understands how critical this period of life is in the prenatal to 5 in terms of a child's development and their architecture of their brain. So we ask that everybody engage, that we really learn that we think about how to better support families. And I want to kind of call out to our local officials, city, county. We know with relief dollars coming in, there's a lot of opportunity that New Mexico has never had before. And so how can some of those dollars be spent to build capacity? These are one-time investments that could potentially really change the landscape of a community to better support families. Investments in childcare, investments in home visiting, or, as to your point, the workforce. But I would definitely call out to local communities and businesses to get involved, to ask good questions, but to also invest in the early childhood system in their communities, because it does return. The return on investment is documented, and it will only be done if families have access to high quality early childhood experiences for their children.